Let's imagine you are in a forest and all you can see around you is 10 trees. So you're in the forest and all you can see is 10 trees. But if you take a look at Google Earth, you will see thousands of trees in that forest, along with all the roads that lead to it. Up next, social self-care. Spending time with other people builds your sense of belonging. Feeling connected to others is so important for your mood and well-being. So you can practice social self-care by nurturing the relationships you have with friends, family, and colleagues. I try to make a list of different ideas of things you can do together with others. Of course, some of you may be extroverts, so you like spending time with others, and some of you may be introverts. You prefer to be alone most of the time. You may also be somewhere in the middle. Regardless of where you're at, have a look at this list and tailor it to your specific wants and needs. Stay in touch digitally when you can't see each other physically. Have regular checking in and catching up sessions. For example, you can agree with a friend of yours to speak every Sunday night just for 15 minutes to check in with one another. To ask questions like, how are you feeling? How was your week? What is your plan for the upcoming week? Is there something I can help with? Have breakfast on Saturday morning, have brunch, dinner party, barbecue, host a spa day, host a movie marathon night, play board games, host quiet dinners to catch up, go to the park, go jogging, exercise together, sign up for a class together, walk around the city or the countryside and enjoy the sights, go to a place you've never visited before, go to a restaurant, a bar, a club, go to a karaoke night, go on a date, go camping, go fishing, hiking, bike together, go to an interesting local meetup, go to social networking events, go to free outdoor concerts or movies. There are many things we can do with our friends, family, colleagues, and the people we care about. We just have to make the time. It's important. Mental self-care is the next one. This is all about doing tasks that would stimulate your mind and intellect. Here we could actually include all of the activities we talked about in the emotional self-care category, the first one, and some activities from the physical self-care category. This is because mental self-care also means relaxing your mind and body, getting in touch with your feelings, and doing things to keep your stress levels low. But since I want to make this very organized and simple, there is no point in repeating the same activities over and over again. Some of them are going to overlap a little bit, but this list mainly contains activities designed to keep your brain active and develop your intellect further. You can practice mental self-care by meditation, setting goals, always putting your ideas to paper. And this is a crucial one to remember. Has that ever happened to you? A brilliant idea comes to your mind and you think, I'm definitely going to remember that. And then you forget about it. And then you regret that you didn't write it down. So even if you don't think your idea is brilliant at the time when you have it, write it down, you never know. Take notes. Minimize bad television. Read books. Write something. Take online classes. Challenge yourself to try potential hobbies at least twice a year. So maybe that's something you've always wanted to do, such as dancing. You've always wanted to try it, but you never actually decided to go any further, to book a class and go and just seeing how you feel. It may be for you, it may not be. So challenge yourself to try, see whether that's for you. Be willing to listen and to learn from others and from their experience. You don't necessarily have to agree with that, but just listen. You may learn something. Meet new people from different backgrounds. Listen to their stories. Sketch, draw, paint, solve a puzzle, play chess, play Sudoku, play board games, crosswords, build something, visit brain training websites, download brain training apps, go to a museum, go to a theater, listen to podcasts, learn a foreign language, or at least take the first step towards learning it. Engage in stimulating conversations, surround yourself with people who you can learn from. Learn about a subject or hobby that interests you. Learn about a subject or hobby that would benefit your career development. Take personal development classes. Take mental health classes. Watch TED Talks, Google Talks, or YouTube lecture videos. And finally, let's talk about spiritual self-care. And finally, we have spiritual self-care. This means doing something that would nurture your spirit. It's normal to associate this self-care with faith and religion, but we can actually practice spiritual self-care without being religious at all. And I will give you some examples in a minute. The main point here is to engage with activities that help you develop a deeper sense of connection with the world, a deeper sense of meaning and understanding of it. This allows you to put things into perspective, which is a very important skill for management of not only stress, but also anxiety disorders and depression. The first two ideas I will share with you are only applicable if they align with your belief system. These are praying and going to church services. Again, if those examples are not in line with your belief system, here are other ideas of how you can practice spiritual self-care. Recognize and respect your needs. Connect with your community. Take a non-judgmental approach, which means taking a non-judgmental approach towards yourself and others. Volunteer. Spend time in nature. Protect nature. Dedicate time for self-reflection. And the next one is an interesting one I want to talk to you more about. Take the helicopter view when you are faced with challenges. Have you ever heard of that? The helicopter view means looking at challenges from above, putting things into a bigger perspective. And I think the best way to explain this is with a metaphor. Let's imagine you are in a forest and all you can see around you is 10 trees. So you're in the forest and all you can see is 10 trees. But if you take a look at Google Earth, you will see thousands of trees in that forest, along with all the roads that lead to it. So the 10 trees you're seeing right now are only a fraction of what's actually going on in that particular moment. Normally, we're very attached to our stressors. We are involved in them emotionally. We give them the majority of our attention, time, and energy. The more emotional attachment there is, the harder it is for us to problem solve the situation effectively. If we, however, take the helicopter view and imagine taking off and seeing all our stressors from a higher and higher perspective, we start seeing the bigger picture. We become less involved with the detail on the ground level. This allows us to take a step back from the closer shot, to zoom out and see our challenges more clearly and rationally. Let's take a quick example. I may be delivering a PowerPoint presentation to my colleagues, and I start to deliver it and I notice that one of my colleagues is not looking at me at all. I may start worrying about my choice of words. I may start worrying about my presentation style, what I said, my body language, my looks. Basically stressing over every possible detail in that situation. I'm immediately assuming that somebody is acting a certain way because of me. But if I try to put things into perspective and ask myself, is there any other possible reason this person may not be interested in hearing what I have to say? Is it possible that their mind is occupied with something else that actually has nothing to do with me or my presentation? Maybe they're worried about something, or they have heard this information before, or they're thinking about their own struggles right now. You can see where I'm going with this. Our minds naturally jump to conclusions when we're faced with challenges. So it's important to look at those situations from as many angles as you can. This can really help you prevent stress and tackle it in the moment if you do feel stressed. Next, we have express gratitude, practice forgiveness, so forgiving not only others, but yourself as well. Evaluate what's most important in your life. Be mindful of your core values and goals in life. Recognize your strength in challenging times. Appreciate your most significant relationships. Do regular acts of compassion, again towards yourself and others. Be kind to yourself and others. Use positive affirmations to relieve negative emotions. Read inspiring materials. Practice meditation, mindfulness, yoga, and similar discipline practices. As you can see, those lists are long. You have so many ideas of what you can do for each self-care category. And now I'm assuming you're thinking, wait, where do I start from? There's so much information. This is where the workbook comes very handy. Let's have a look at what's inside.